Discussion on Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? By Edward Albee. Summary, Themes and Characters. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? By Edward Albee is a classic play written in 1962. It explores the complexities of marriage, the nature of truth, and the conflict between reality and illusion. Characters. George, a middle-aged history professor. Intellectual but passive-aggressive. Frustrated by his professional failures and overshadowed by Martha's father. Uses wit and sarcasm to mask his insecurities. Martha, George's wife and the daughter of the college president. Loud, domineering, and deeply dissatisfied. She yearns for power and attention, often lashing out at George. Her vulnerability is revealed through her attachment to the imaginary son. Nick, a young biology professor. Ambitious and confident but morally ambiguous. Represents the younger generation and the idea of genetic manipulation as a future savior. Gets entangled in George and Martha's games. Honey, Nick's naive and fragile wife. Lacks depth and avoids conflict. Represents innocence and denial, as seen in her avoidance of motherhood. Themes. Illusion versus reality. The central theme is the tension between illusion and reality. George and Martha create a fictional son to cope with their disappointments. The destruction of this illusion forces them to confront their painful reality. The breakdown of the American dream. The play critiques the idealized notion of the American dream. George and Martha's marriage, filled with bitterness and failure, contrasts with the facade of success and happiness. Marriage and power dynamics. The play examines the toxic dynamics of George and Martha's marriage, marked by love, resentment, and mutual dependence. Power struggles define their interactions. Games and manipulation. The characters engage in games to assert dominance and expose each other's vulnerabilities. These games highlight the destructive nature of manipulation in relationships. The fear of truth. The title itself questions who is afraid of facing the truth. Each character avoids confronting their fears and failures until they are forced to. Summary. The play is divided into 3 acts, each with a significant title. Act 1. Fun and Games. Act 2. Walpurgisnacht. Act 3. The Exorcism. Act 1. Fun and Games. The play begins late at night after a faculty party at a small New England college. George, a history professor, and his wife, Martha, the college president's daughter, return home. Their relationship is marked by constant bickering and sarcasm. Martha reveals that she has invited Nick, a young biology professor, and his shy wife, Honey, for drinks. As the night progresses, the conversation becomes tense. George and Martha's verbal sparring escalates, exposing deep-seated frustrations in their marriage. Martha humiliates George by mocking his professional failures and flirts openly with Nick. Act 2. Walpurgisnacht. The tensions intensify as the characters drink more. George begins to retaliate against Martha by revealing Honey's secrets, including her hysterical pregnancy. The term, Walpurgisnacht, refers to a witch's Sabbath, symbolizing the chaotic and surreal events of the act. George and Martha engage in a game of psychological warfare, using Nick and Honey as pawns. Martha confesses her dissatisfaction with George's lack of ambition, and George retaliates by telling a story about a boy who accidentally killed his parents, hinting at deeper truths about himself. Act 3. The Exorcism. This act reveals the couple's most intimate and painful secret, their imaginary son. Martha accuses George of destroying their son, while George insists it was necessary to end the illusion. The exorcism is George's ultimate attempt to confront the lies and illusions that have defined their marriage. By the end, Martha is left vulnerable and exposed, admitting her fear of facing reality. The play concludes with the poignant line, "Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf?" a metaphor for facing the harsh truths of life. Conclusion. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Is a powerful exploration of human relationships and the facades people create to hide their pain. Through biting dialogue and raw emotion, Albee exposes the complexities of marriage, the destructiveness of illusions, and the courage needed to confront reality.